Warning: the following content may contain spoilers for film and television programs. It is also intended for mature audiences. Viewer and listener discretion is advised.
Ahoy, all of you Flick Freaks out there, what is going on? My name is Andrew, and it is episode 49 of the Flick Freak podcast. Joining me, as always, we have the king of the doldrums, Brian Vaughn.
I'm kind of in a good mood today.
Really?
Yeah.
What do you think brought that upon? Being late for the podcast?
Yeah, I have no idea, honestly. It just happens. I can't explain it.
Yeah. So, Mike, I got to come up with a nickname for you. But Perpetual Wizard Jareth over here.
Yeah.
Or you want Perpetual Wizard Jareth or the wrong half of Hollywood Jareth.
I like Abracadabra, bitches.
Abracadabra
Also
bitch.
fine, but the wrong half of Hollywood is like the best nickname I've ever heard.
Damn it. I don't want that one to stick. Why did I tell that story?
Oh, man.
Kevin
Yep.
Cusack is also an option.
Kevin Cusack.
So many things, and they all stick. What do we do?
Kevin Joel Cusack. As
There we
Haley
go.
Joel
I don't
Osment.
want that.
Yeah.
You can call me Kevin Cusack. Don't call me Joel Cusack.
All the ladies
I've hated
want
him
it?
since
No, they
forever.
No.
Always hated that
You've
kid.
resented him from day one.
Mike, have you ever had a nickname that stuck with you?
Unfortunately, it's based on my last name, and I don't really want to bring that back.
Okay.
So I'll gain a new reputation for something else equally horrible, I'm sure.
Okay.
Oddly, for those of you who don't know, the reason his nickname was based upon his surname is his surname is actually Penis. His name is Mike Penis.
Yeah.
He's the only person named that in the history of the world.
Weirdly, his middle name is Licks after his grandmother.
Yeah, exactly. His grandmother, whose name was, of course, Dolores Licks. This is all true.
Yeah. A fantastic way to start podcast 49.
Yeah, a little backstory for you guys.
All right. So, Brian,
Hey, what's
you
up?
get the Did You See That Opinion of the Week.
Wow, I'm just launched into this. Okay, so the movie that I watched
How
in
long ago?
preparation
How
of
long
this
ago did you
podcast
watch it? How long?
yesterday.
Okay.
I thought you were watching it before you got here in this.
No, I just kind of on the spur of the moment decided to
be
watch
late.
this on a recommendation from my elder sibling, one Bradley C. Vaughn, who's much larger than me, and
you can just say
is
your older
shy
brother.
of hair. He does not have the amount of hair that I possess.
You have your hair and all of his.
I
hair.
have all of the people's hair.
You
so
you were very close to having an afro.
I know, it's awesome, right? So anyway, to get back on track, which is rare for this podcast, I watched an independently made movie called Creep, which is a kind of found footage horror movie, which is a terrible genre
Yeah.
in general. Directed by a guy named Patrick Bryce. It was his first feature film. It also starred Patrick Bryce and Mark Duplass, probably best known from The League.
Pete.
He was also in Safety Not Guaranteed, which I thought was really good.
Such a good movie.
Also, I classify that as a romantic comedy that is actually worthwhile, even though it's not like a strict romantic comedy. Anyway, so the general idea behind Creep is it's found footage of a guy who takes a job. He's a freelance videographer, takes a job to go record a guy for $1,000 for one day. Basically a day in the guy's life because he's dying of terminal cancer. So, and his wife's pregnant. So he wants to kind of just, this is a day in my life so his kid can watch it. None of that goes well or correctly or according to plan because of course it doesn't. But I knew that and anyone would know that going in based on tone, anything else. What I will say, positives here. The first, it's a short movie. It's probably an hour and 20 minutes, hour and a half. The first 2/3 of the movie, I thoroughly enjoyed. There was a really, really slow build, a lot of tension and dread. Mark Duplass in particular is extremely effective actually in the role of the titular creep. I had to.
Yep.
Anyway, he's excellent in that role, and there were a couple of like honest to God scenes that I felt completely uncomfortable with. So the setup of everything is great. From there, the initial conflict seems to halfway resolve and then kind of devolve into like a game of cat and mouse, and it's very unsatisfying.
I saw in the trailer like Mark Duplass in like a cheap werewolf mask sort of thing. Is that when the movie falls apart and becomes no longer good?
No, that part's fine.
Is it okay?
Like actually, the framing of that is totally good.
Okay.
But before that's kind of the point, is that it's just like a shitty, like dollar store mask is the idea there, that he uses for a reason which he explains, which is awful. The ending of the movie though just kind of really fell flat for me. It doesn't undo the first 2/3 of the movie. Like for me, the destination can't undo the journey entirely, which I think it does for a lot of people. I think that's short-sighted. So overall, I would definitely say it's something that people should see. I think it's kind of an underrated movie because it's kind of understated in its approach. I think it would have benefited greatly from not being shot as found footage.
Okay.
Like movies would.
Yeah, I think conceptually and in terms of the actor, really just one actor available that wouldn't normally maybe be. Although, taking a moment, Mark Duplass has done a really good job of being in movies that don't pay him, which is pretty cool. But given what was available in terms of ideas and acting, I would have liked to have seen that shot well, rather than in a format that's pretty much dead.
I think the reason why a lot of new filmmakers do found footage is because it can get a wide audience while at the same time being a lot cheaper to make.
Sure.
Because you're just getting into the industry, you want to get your name out, you don't have the money or the backing to make a well-rounded film.
So it's kind of like an avenue into filmmaking, even if maybe it does a slight disservice to your product.
Exactly.
Oh, it gives you a shot, but it's kind of up in the air whether or not that shot's going to go through your own brain.
Because you actually have to
yeah.
make it. You can't just make a found footage film just because. You have to actually still make it work.
Yeah, and that's one thing I will say is that it didn't detract from the movie so much to where I was angry that I had watched it. Like I still thought it. wouldn't say I enjoyed it. It's not the kind of thing that anyone would enjoy. But
it's not that kind of movie.
No, but it was a worthwhile thing for me to have seen, and I would be really curious where the people behind it go forward from here, because it was interestingly constructed for sure.
Okay, so there's a future with this filmmaker, possibly.
I hope. I hope that that's not just kind of a flash in the pan thing.
Well, what if he only ever makes
Found footage
movies now? That's his thing.
Well, I would imagine someone will give him more money at some point. That tends to happen.
Well, what if he just does a really high dollar found footage?
Is there such a thing as that? Has that been done?
Probably.
He could create
Avatar, was that found footage?
Cloverfield.
Do you know what?
Oh my
Yeah.
god, Cloverfield was so fucking
What's
good.
the superhero movie that was
The one with the kids,
Yeah.
where they get the powers. Oh, what was that called?
Honey, I Shrunk the Kids 4.
Yeah.
Yeah, that sounds right.
anyway?
Wait, what was that called? Now that's going to bother me. I know
It's like
exactly what you're
Legend
talking about.
or something like that.
No,
Some
Chronicle.
Chronicle.
I didn't even have to look it up. I'm
So-
not that good.
Captain Crunch the movie.
Yeah, Chronicle. I thought was
Crunchitize me, Captain.
Chronicle was like a neat movie, but I was really annoyed that it had to stick with that found footage premise.
I was
whole time.
too.
Jesus Christ!
So unnecessary.
I thought it was interesting how they didn't stick with one camera though. They took cell phone videos from one person and then like
Yeah, to me that's
security.
you're just stretching the medium to its.
That probably came out like what, 2011?
Something like that.
2012.
Yeah.
So I feel like it was
No,
trying
that-
to capitalize on the initial boom of everyone's always on their devices, and instead it just came across corny and unnecessary.
2012. Yeah.
Like maybe they're always on their devices, but if you're in a superhero flying super battle, put away your goddamn phone and help your friends.
Probably a lot of people wouldn't, though.
In this day and age, nope, you're Skyping.
Like, honestly, let's take a poll. If
I-
Jareth was being attacked by a supervillain, how many people would stop texting?
that
Well,
shit's going on Periscope like immediately.
No one raised their hand.
Well, I would
in the
check
room.
Twitter first, and then
Just see if anyone commented
Oh, well,
on
I'd
it.
be on it too, but I'd still be fighting.
Yeah, tweeting
I'd
and
be doing a
fighting.
Vine.
You'd have a GoPro.
Yeah, attached to your face. Actually, that'd be pretty awesome in that scenario.
you put it up on YouTube. It's like some asshole tries to fight me.
All lowercase, just like there's like a
Not
forward
even an
slash in the
exclamation
middle
mark.
of it somewhere.
That's how modern superheroes would be. That's
Yeah,
how that
exactly.
would actually be.
Grammar
So-
I
man.
feel bad for the future.
Creep's not groundbreaking, but it is
Yeah,
interesting.
I definitely would say that anyone with any interest in
Being scared.
yeah, like being a little creeped out. Also, anybody with any curiosity about watching something that is just kind of a little unusual, it's worth watching for sure.
Fantastic. Gentlemen, are we ready to get into the top 10 news segments of the week?
I
don't know.
personally am.
Like, I need another 30 minutes.
Do I have a
Ready.
choice? You've chained us to your couch. I can't move.
Yeah, it's actually kind of weird.
I got
Someone
you,
help
Spanish
us.
Dip. You can handle the chains, god damn
I don't
it.
know why Mike has to wear a blindfold. I don't know. No one else is.
It's a surprise, Brian.
Okay. Well,
Okay.
I didn't know. So
All right. First news item. Michael Mann is directing a biopic of Enzo Ferrari starring Christian Bale. Michael Mann, director of Heat and Collateral, two amazing films. And I guess he didn't direct. Never mind. But yeah, he's making Enzo Ferrari biopic.
Wait, so which movie didn't he direct?
I was thinking he directed this one film that's about Bobby Fischer, the chess genius. But
isn't that called
Oh.
like Bobby Fischer? What's that called?
no, it stars Topher Grace.
Uh-oh.
So I never saw it.
Yeah, that's probably a good
That's
decision.
good logic.
I
right there.
have a question, which will either
Enzo Ferrari is the guy who created the Ferrari line.
that
of
is
vehicles.
what my literal guess would have been,
Yeah.
and I did not know.
It's a fantastic story, actually. I was telling them before the podcast started.
'Cause I asked
He was
the
a
same question.
He was
Okay,
a Formula
good.
One driver. If I understand this correctly, he was a Formula One driver. Saw what all the other car companies were doing. He said, "I can do it better," and he
But
built.
probably in an accent.
Yeah,
Okay.
it's a me, Enzo.
It's a Kansas accent.
Yeah, but he built all of his cars. Like he started his company in his like garage, like his
Fitting
farm.
enough.
yeah.
Also, though, like stories like this, I can't really get fully behind him because he was already a Formula One driver. Anyone who's already just super successful,
Did you ever watch the movie Rush?
yeah, it was all right.
It was better than all
I
right.
thought
It
it
was
was all right.
fantastic.
We have a disagreement.
Brian very aggressively said
Yeah.
just now, like his posture was so aggressive
Yeah.
that it was mediocre.
Yeah, it was fine.
it was fun.
You're aggressively abstinent.
It was well performed, but I mean, it was a sports movie. It was.
I guess I love sports films. So
I do not.
Steve, was that Steven Spielberg?
no, it was Ron Howard.
That
Yeah.
was it. Was one of the big guys. I knew that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It was nominated for. Oh no, that's why I was pissed last year on the old podcast because it didn't get a single nomination.
You were not pleased with that. I remember that.
at all. I was very shocked that it didn't get anything. It's in IMDb's top 250 movies of all time. I think it's like 140.
But again,
something.
that's voted on people who like work at the gas station, like Mike.
hey,
I don't work at the gas station anymore.
I'm just.
Brian.
Do you really not?
I quit.
Hold on. We're taking an aside.
Let's do it.
This is in the middle of the episode. I don't care.
we talked
do
about
it.
this before
Make
you
my
got
own
here.
rules.
You would
So
have heard
how
this
are
if
you,
showed
Mike?
up on
Where
time.
are you now employed?
Oh, I'm not employed anywhere right now. I'm
That's
unemployed.
awesome.
Isn't it? It's so good.
Somehow, like most people, whenever they tell you that they're reluctant or something, and you're like, "No, I'm not. I don't care." And then most people might react like, "Oh, I'm sorry," and I'm like, "No, that sounds fantastic."
Yeah. I just sleep and then I have all the time in the world to just do anything.
Like right now, your life is only about survival.
Mhm.
Like all you have to do is survive, and there's something like really weirdly beautiful in that.
Yeah.
You're not concerned with like, man, you should have heard what Jenny said to me when I tried to open the register today or whatever. Like things like that.
Oh man, I don't have to be anywhere
No.
at any
He
time.
just has to take a spear outside and hunt a radish.
That's not. Oh, it's because I'm a vegetarian. That's what that joke
Yeah.
was.
When did that happen?
A couple months ago.
Okay, I didn't know about that. How's that going?
Good.
This is How is Mike? This is a segment called
How is Mike?
Yeah. Mike will eat radishes and not work at Come and Go any longer. These are 2 facts that I just learned about Mike.
Yeah.
Should Andrew, do you want to get this on the rails or should we not? Should we just
I'm
wanna
trying to
keep-
think if I can get Radish into a nickname for Mike, like the Radish.
the radishing Mike Boykin?
I love it. Do you know that I actually haven't eaten a radish like in the last year? So
I don't think that's a bad thing.
No, I don't like radishes.
Radishes
I really
are
like
shit.
I really like vegetables and I do not like radishes.
I've had
Radishes
beets.
are like a step above turnips in
I
my book,
like
which are terrible.
I like beets.
I've had beets, leeks, kale, all the one syllable
I once made a leek soup.
He's also had chard, I'm pretty sure.
chard.
Before you got here,
Mm.
we were destroying some spinach dip. And it
Oh, man.
was-
Spinach dip is always
Fuck
good.
that shit up.
Yeah, how people don't like it. I don't trust people who don't like spinach dip. I really don't.
I actually don't either. I don't know.
There's just something wrong.
Would it be bad, Mike? Would you not like it if I told you I was going to go kill a bison and eat it after this?
Hey, it's your prerogative, man.
Can
Okay.
I
do
have
that.
some?
Yeah. Jareth will help me kill the bison.
Why don't we all go down to Oklahoma? It's an hour drive from here. We can go to like Buffalo Run, get a buffalo bison burger.
I'll eat the grass.
If I didn't have to
That
work
sounds like-
tonight, I would try to actually make that happen.
Yeah, if I had
A buffalo burger is
money
delicious.
that
They're so
someone
good.
gave me.
So let's get back
You
to
can have
Enzo
soy buffalo.
Ferrari. How can it? Oh, okay, Enzo Ferrari. Would you go see this movie? Yay, nay?
I mean, there are some good people involved with it,
Yeah.
but I'd have to. It'd be a situation where I probably watched it after it was released on home video.
Yeah.
I was gonna say you
On
wouldn't wait to hear
VHS.
from me whether I thought it was good.
When it was directly to beta, I would probably go ahead and get a copy.
Mike,
If it's like on in front of me and I'm in the same room, I will watch.
yeah.
I won't walk away from this movie.
Wizard.
Doesn't sound like it's up my alley, really.
All right. Well,
I mean, I'll watch it, but
I personally am very excited for this.
Oh, I'm so sorry that you are in our company.
That's hey, differentiating opinions are what drive the world. Otherwise, we just get the same movie over and over again.
Which we do!
Yeah.
Thank you, Hollywood.
Speaking of biopics, Linda Opps, the producer of Contact and Interstellar, is producing a biopic of Carl Sagan. For those of you who watched the original Cosmos series, Carl Sagan is like one of my heroes in life.
Sure.
So I'm very,
Everybody likes Carl Sagan.
very, very
He's
excited
a
about
difficult man to hate.
Yeah. The guy founded, he worked at NASA. Was he a founder of SETI? I think he was. The search for
Yes,
extraterrestrials.
yes,
Yeah.
he definitely is.
And, he was the original host of Cosmos before Neil deGrasse Tyson, which the Neil deGrasse Tyson that was it last year or the year before? One of the best series I've seen in a very
For
long
sure.
time.
Mhm.
I love that series. But he was the original Cosmos guy. So I am all about watching this movie. And producer of Contact and Interstellar. Yeah. It's not like it's directed by Christopher Nolan, but the money is behind it, so she knows a good
Yeah, it's
thing when
like
she sees it.
I'm excited for the subject matter, but it's like everything in Hollywood. There's a million ways that could go wrong.
Yeah,
So,
it remains to be seen. It's interesting though. It's a good concept, a good subject.
I'll see it.
Yeah.
yeah.
So, speaking of sci-fi space films, Colin Trevorrow, who directed Jurassic World and Safety Not
He
Guaranteed.
did. I was going to mention that if you didn't,
No.
since I mentioned that movie.
I only have one line, so I have to just really quickly
Yeah.
and then just fill in the rest of the information verbatim. Or verbally, I should say. That's a better word. Has signed on to direct Star Wars Episode 9, because I still think J.J. Abrams is directing 8. So the final installment of this last trilogy is going to be
They're really
Colin
planning
Trevorrow.
ahead here.
Well, with a big, iconic film
That's gonna
franchise
be
like Star Wars, you have to plan 3 films
6,
ahead.
8 years from now.
So
Yeah.
he's So JJ is doing 7 and 8.
Yes. From what I understand, he's
And
doing 7 and 8.
Dubiously, Trevorrow's doing
9.
8 or 9.
Why not Abrams all three?
Well, I'm sure Abrams has other.
I think he has to go back and do the other Star Trek films.
You got time.
I don't know.
Interesting.
He needs to pick one in the Star Wars Star Trek war.
I'm
am
just
curious.
like, why Trevorrow? Like, I don't know. I mean,
I was very
Jurassic World was
confused.
great.
I was very confused when he was named the director for Jurassic World because of the resume, not
just
being
safety not
anything-
guaranteed.
Yeah, that was it. Like a really, like a very low, if you will, like lo-fi movie. Like nothing that would suggest.
It's actually a very interesting story of how he got the directing job for Jurassic World. I don't know if you guys
Yeah,
know this or not.
please.
I have no
Okay,
idea.
so he's friends with Steven Spielberg.
how'd
After
that happen?
I don't know. I guess Spielberg saw Safety Not Guaranteed, and Spielberg approached him and said, "Hey, I saw your movie. It's actually very intelligently made. Would you want to make a film from And he's like, "Yeah, absolutely. What did you have in mind?" He's like, "Oh, I want to do a new Jurassic World." And Colin said, "No, I'm not doing that. That is such a profound and infamous film series. I wouldn't feel comfortable taking on that responsibility." And Spielberg said, "That's why I want you, is because you understand how important this film franchise is." And actually, Spielberg wore Colin down. To think that Spielberg actually went looking for somebody and they said no, that's kind of interesting. I
That
think.
is.
Yeah, I'd
Kinda
be
makes
like,
me
I've
trust
never.
Star Wars 9 a little bit more.
Be
now.
like, I've
Yeah.
never directed anything before, but give me that money. Give me that sweet dinosaur cash.
And it's the #1 film of the year at the box office. It's
Yeah.
made
Yeah.
more. It's breaking records. It's the 4th highest grossing film in history.
That's really
Man.
weird.
Is that not? It's the 4th highest grossing film ever.
So yeah, I guess that's probably why Trevorrow's jumping
What-
to the top of a lot of lists.
What are the
Yeah.
3 in front of that?
Titanic,
Ants with a Z?
Avatar, and Avengers.
Yeah, the first
one?
Avengers.
Yeah.
Okay.
That was a huge release. I guess so. For me, say what you will about J.J. Abrams, but he has a pretty distinctive visual style.
Very much so.
I like J.J.
Okay,
Lens
I am a
flares.
J.J. Abrams apologist.
Yeah, okay,
Lens
me too.
flares left and right.
I love the lens flares.
I do too.
I do too. I don't.
They look
Probably
great.
shouldn't. I don't
Yeah.
know.
I know, but so and it's just I'm like, as far as I can tell, Trevorrow doesn't do anything that as far as I can see, that's terribly unique. I guess, but maybe I'm no. What the fuck do I know?
Yeah, I
At
think
the
like
very
his.
least, he pays attention and he knows what's come before.
Yeah, I think or what I liked about Safety Not Guaranteed. I don't have a lot to go on here. I have 2
Yeah.
films, very different ones, but on Safety Not Guaranteed were weird long shots on characters that were kind of uncomfortable at times, and it was well written. Like he had a big hand in that. But directing style wise, again, I am not privy to the craft.
yeah.
Really, I can just go on my perceptions
This
as
is-
a viewer.
And this is a sticking point for me because I am such a fucking gigantic Star Wars fan that I'm like, I don't know. I have like a lot of faith in J.J. Abrams, and I'm seeing someone else for 9, and I don't. And it's the fucking conclusion too.
Like you will personally go to Tatooine and kick his ass.
I
if this
will.
goes wrong.
I absolutely will. I'm perspiring over this.
The guy's got some balls. Hey, why don't you take on Jurassic World? Okay, that wasn't enough for you. Take on Star Wars. How do you? What's
a huge
after
leap
that?
in his
Ants with a
career.
Z too.
Ants
Like
with a
if he
Z.
gets stuck with that, it's trouble.
What's the next biggest fan base he could tap at this point? I mean, I feel like
Well, I mean, he could go to start directing Star Trek.
He could do that, or hey, I'm gonna redo Lord of the Rings.
Yeah,
There
that
you
would
go.
be
There you
that
go.
would be as big as you could do.
Yeah.
Or like Harry Potter as adults or something. I don't know. What else do people like?
I'm gonna make Seinfeld the movie.
Twilight 9 or whatever. I don't know.
I really
Is that a
don't-
thing? Do people like that by the end?
I'm gonna make Titanic 3.
Titanic 3.
people
Still, still dead.
Still down there. All right. Speaking of sequels everybody wanted, Indie comedy hit What We Do in the Shadows is getting a sequel all about the werewolves.
I'm like completely on board for
Yeah,
this.
man.
Reese
Yep.
Darby as the werewolf,
Yes.
pack leader. Fucking hilarious. God, that was...
We're not swearwolves, we're werewolves.
Yeah, we're not swearwolves. we're
That was fantastic. Oh my
Why
god.
aren't you wearing your expandable pants? Those pants are going to rip right off of you. You just wasted a pair of pants.
I will. There's no scenario where I don't watch this.
Yeah.
Unless I'm dead.
They've got my money.
It's just that What We Do in the Shadows, it came out of nowhere and it was full of people we all, like everybody in this room loves.
Yeah.
Like Taika Waititi, Jermaine Clement, Reese Darby, who was the werewolf pack leader. It was just that whole New Zealand Flight of Conchords crew making a
I'll
film.
probably watch anything they ever do. I
Yeah.
mean, at this point. It's
Yeah, they'd have to work really hard to unsell me.
Well, it was Jermaine and I'm having a brain fart now. The other Concord.
Oh, Brett.
Brit, yeah.
Brit.
Yeah, so you have a Golden Globe winner and an Oscar winner.
Yeah.
So it's
Yeah.
crazy to
Pretty
think
weird
that.
how that worked out.
Yeah, one of them won an Oscar, the other one won a Golden Globe. That's insane. How am I going to do this? Any ideas?
Speaking of,
Oh, okay. I Am Legend is technically about vampires in the book. Speaking of a film about vampires, Francis Lawrence, the director of Constantine and I Am Legend, he is directing The Odyssey.
There we go.
Like
The
Homer's
epic
The Odyssey?
Homer's The Odyssey. The
Well, that
epic
is
poem.
a cumbersome task.
Yeah.
I'll tell you what we don't need. It's fucking the Odyssey. I don't know. That's me.
No.
I feel like that story at this point has been told.
The Armand Asante.
I'm just going to
Ser-
take a quick poll here yet again. I've been
Yep.
taking polls, mostly about Jareth's safety.
You
Yeah,
should probably
but-
rephrase that.
This one...
FYI, just before you get into your before you
well
get into
done. That's awesome.
your before you get into your poll, Hugh Jackman's playing Odysseus. I just
Okay.
want to get that out there real quick.
Did anyone... okay. Who here... my first question is, tried to read the Odyssey?
Oh, I've
Yeah,
read it.
I
I read the Iliad and the Odyssey.
Did anyone read all of that?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I did not give a fuck. I read
No,
a third of it. I
Yeah,
was
no.
done.
I was forced to do it in school.
Yeah,
So-
I was too, and I got on the internet.
He still
and-
didn't.
I read it.
Yeah, I didn't do that at all.
I read it in
It's
school.
over
We
there
had
in
to-
my bookshelf somewhere.
I don't think it's
I
ever
like
going to
it.
happen.
We had to read it in class in 9th grade, and I heard one of the stupidest things I've ever heard in my life, because they keep running into problems with the gods. You know,
As we do.
and this dumb chick, she was dumb. She just turns to the teacher, serious as she could be. She goes, "If they're having so much problems with all these gods, why don't they just believe in the right one?"
Yeah,
Oh, Jesus.
that's awesome.
Missouri.
That was actually in Oklahoma.
Same thing.
It's close enough.
Bible Belt.
Yeah, exactly.
If we have
I wanted
any
to take the Bible belt off and hit her with it.
if we have
She
any
deserves it.
listeners here from Oklahoma, just tune out for like the next 10 seconds. I drove down to Texas a couple weeks ago.
Yet another
The-
cesspool of a state.
Yeah.
The
For
drive
the most part.
the drive through Oklahoma twice, like going down to Texas and then back to Missouri, I now fully understand just how shitty that state is.
Well, yeah, the toll roads.
oh
and
my
then
god.
That is
featureless
ridiculous.
landscape.
I don't understand that at all.
Yeah, I love Oklahoma, but I hate the fucking driving through it.
Well,
It's
to
awful.
be fair, the toll roads actually generate a significant.
Oh my god.
It's the
No,
only way that state
no.
makes money.
They-
That and Indian casinos.
The toll roads literally pay for most of the law enforcement in Oklahoma.
I was really hoping you'd say education. I had a joke for that.
No. Like the
What?
the-
Are you going to say something like that's why you drive around the toll
No,
roads?
I just really didn't. Something about Oklahoma and education in the same sentence. It's just hilarious. I don't know.
All right, Oklahomans, you can
Your
tune
state
back
looks
in.
like a goddamn hat.
looks like a pan or a pot.
All
Like
right.
a piece of paper.
Did anybody have anything else about the Odyssey they wanted to say?
just that I really don't. I like aggressively don't want to see it.
So
I
you
do.
read the whole thing, Mike.
Yeah.
Did you aggressively not enjoy that experience?
I mean,
Would
at
you
the time, I was like 16 or 17,
You look
and
so sad without your picture. You're breaking my heart.
I can't reach it.
it was only like the probably 7th or 8th time I'd read a story about a big, strong man who goes and fights a
Yeah.
whole bunch of things and
Has sex with lots of stuff too.
has sex with everything, and then
It's like what we all do every day.
So it's the
No.
Bible.
yeah, it's the Bible and
It's
like
loaded with sex and violence.
it's the Bible plus like all 80s action movies,
yeah.
and
You're making a really strong case.
I
for
actually
it right
am,
now.
aren't I? God damn it!
I'll
Anyway.
say that. Okay, I'll just really quickly say this. If you don't want to read the Odyssey, just watch Oh Brother, Where Art Thou?
Oh yeah, there
Which
you go.
I have done, obviously.
I guess I'm just really close minded about this, but I guess it could be told in an interesting way. So
Probably.
It's
I don't know how-
interesting
I
that
don't-
you are against it because it's been rehashed so much.
yeah,
When you like comic book like stuff,
yeah, I do. I
which
think
every one of them has been rehashed like 5 million times.
I know
literally.
that's comfort food to me though. For that, like that's okay. It's okay for Wolverine and Spider-Man and all that.
Does
shit,
anyone
but-
else think like I think you have to have comfort food in media, but why did that become like the majority of what's released?
Because
At a
it's
certain point.
what you're gonna. It's the same reason that when you go to Walmart, it's mostly junk food. Like that's
Yeah, but
all.
junk food's awesome.
So is Spider-Man and
I
Wolverine.
like to challenge my mind and intellect.
Really,
My body does not like to be challenged by new tastes.
going around, what is your media comfort food?
Ooh, that's pretty good.
Yeah.
It's a pretty good question. We should start with Jareth.
Why do we have to start with Jared?
I'll go.
Because we're
Yeah.
going clockwise from Andrew.
Mine's HGTV, the Home Garden.
Wow.
Oh really?
I love like.
Oh my
bizarre.
How are you going to remodel this house? That one's you can't do that, and then they do it. I'm
He
like,
can't
you're
do
a
that.
fucking wizard.
Speaking of wizards,
Jared.
So does it have to be a strictly visual media, like
no.
watching a thing?
No comic
No.
books, film, television.
No, weird recordings of like Dolly Parton reading her daily routine out loud are normal. You can use that.
I'm
That's-
sometimes really floored by how specific you can get with examples like that, and I wonder what you do in your downtime.
Don't we all?
He just writes these down. He's like, there we go. No.
I'll use this
Shots
later.
fired.
Strategy games
All right. Yeah.
generally are my comfort food.
Yeah, I can see that. Jareth gets a hold of like a real time strategy game and like picks it apart and becomes a master of it in a matter of hours.
And then I eat it. The disc. The
So-
whole disc.
So do you
Yeah,
play
shove
Hearthstone?
that disc
Do you
right
play
now.
Hearthstone at all?
I have played it. I don't
That's too
really play it too
softball
much.
for Jareth. Trust
Oh,
me.
really?
Yeah.
See, that's my level right now. I'm struggling with Hearthstone. It's tough for me.
I got tired of it pretty fast because I tried playing against other players and everybody else has like actually bought the packs and I'm like, I'm not buying.
Yeah, I'm not buying those packs either.
Yeah.
Zach, who runs our Twitter page, and he streams sometimes on our Twitch channel. He's like hardcore into Hearthstone. So if you listeners want to watch somebody who's really good at Hearthstone, watch our Twitch channel at night when he streams.
Challenge him and destroy him.
Yes, please. That would be fucking hilarious to watch. Mike,
Probably anything that mixes science fiction and fantasy and a coming of age story. Just anything.
so a Final Fantasy game.
Oh yeah, Final Fantasy or and it's got to be a little self-aware too. So it's pretty broad, but if it's like if I can go like, oh man, this is the hero's journey, but with laser guns and dragons, like I'm great with that.
Kung Fury. Brian,
All right. Like if it's just like go-to things, strange '90s indie rock music, and also Quentin Tarantino movies.
Okay.
when did the
Those-
Postal Service
Seinfeld
give up
also.
CD come out? Was that 90s?
2003,
Oh, okay.
2001. It was in the early 2000s.
Yeah.
I was in high school.
I was
still,
too, so.
so I know that much.
I was too.
Yep. You're a liar.
You're a
liar.
Hogwarts isn't even technically a high school.
Number 6. Speaking of epic poems, Warner Brothers is set to turn Dante's Inferno into a film franchise. So,
Okay.
more than one film. I guess they're going to do like Hell for one film, then they'll do Limbo, and then Heaven for
Yeah,
the final film.
isn't that what the books do?
Yeah.
Yeah. And
Oh,
then the
that's-
fourth one will be Dante's Peak.
Or I guess
with
it's
Pierce Brosnan.
I guess it's purgatory, not limbo. But yeah,
Yeah.
close, same
God
thing.
damn it.
Fundamentally the same thing.
As long as they don't go the route of the video game, I mean, that's
Never played it. Was it pretty shitty?
I don't know. Didn't you play it, Jareth?
Yeah.
Wasn't it? I think you liked it.
As far as a hack and slash goes, it's excellent.
It looks sort of like God of War set and the Dante.
I'm just like there are so okay, different forms of media. Everyone that's a nerd, they have their strengths and weaknesses as far as what they're really into.
Yeah.
With video games, there are like the niche things that I will actually play and enjoy is so small. Like any kind of hack and slash game, I'm just like nope immediately.
Generally, hack and slashes are not my favorite, but
Yeah.
it plays by all the correct rules to be a good hack and slash. Plenty of gore. There's some tits. They're scary tits, but they're tits.
sort of like Dark Souls tits.
I imagine a graphic, if this was a YouTube video, like a graphic popping up on the screen where it's like, ding, check marks, some tits.
It's like tits in a ghost costume because they're
Yeah.
scary tits. Imagine tits that are 20 stories tall and have tongues coming out of the nipples.
Sold.
Yeah, Dark Soul tits.
Yeah.
Brian has fat material tonight.
Here's a question. I think that it's very risky to do a film franchise with this because if you're starting off with Hell, that's kind of the entertaining one. When you get to the second film and it's about purgatory, how much fun can that be?
Purgatory is super entertaining.
Well, and from what I know about how they're writing the script for this, I believe it's being framed as like because he's going after his wife
Yeah.
to hell.
Is Liam Neeson in this movie?
Taken.
will find you.
The sequel is Taken's Inferno.
Taken's
I will travel
Inferno.
through different states of afterlife.
You know what film did that very, very well? And I guess it may be loosely based on Dante's Inferno.
Beaches.
No, it was oh shit! How
I'm
do
gonna roll with those.
No,
Today I've decided to ruin the pod. Well, actually, that's most days.
Did you
Yeah.
ever see the film What Dreams May Come, the Robin Williams film?
I did.
I love that film, and is it based on Dante's Inferno?
I've heard that.
Because
I don't know if it is though.
Have you guys seen that movie before?
No, I haven't.
Nope.
So Robin Williams dies, and then all of his kids die, and his wife, who's still alive, is so distraught, like they're killed in a car accident and shit like that. She's so like mortified by everything that she can't handle it, so she kills herself. Since it's a suicide, she gets sent to hell. So Robin Williams is hanging out in heaven, and he's like, nope, she can't stay down there. So he leaves heaven to go down to hell to get her and bring her back. It was actually a very beautiful, kind of psychedelic movie. There's a shit ton of colors.
I'm gonna step straight over all like some lines right now.
If
I
you
guess
say
that-
anything about Dead Robin Williams, I'm just going to cut you off right now.
All right,
Yeah,
I won't.
I'm not having that shit.
I was
on there.
going to though, guys.
Oh, God.
I knew you were because you have no moral compass.
No, it's gone. It's gone.
That's one of his tagline nicknames.
Yeah.
Brian, no moral compass.
the
moral
compassless.
All right, so
That would be what I would be if I was a Coheed and Cambria song.
Mm.
The compassless.
The compass
The
list
compassless.
two.
Yeah.
And then it'd be a really like broad song that probably doesn't actually talk about you at all.
No, it would be about weird characters named like I don't know stuff. That's
Squeegee.
Johnny Knife.
Johnny Knife.
that's way too
What is
cool of
this,
a name
Crazy
for a
Taxi?
Actually, Johnny Knife does sound like exactly one of the characters.
Yeah, it totally does.
Number 7, Dante's Inferno, as you said, was a video game. Speaking of video games, video game developer Konami has reportedly mistreated their employees who worked on Metal Gear Solid 5. Have you guys heard about what they've done to their employees?
No, this is an article that
Holy
I've seen
fuck.
and scrolled past very quickly.
Yeah, I like
Because-
kind of skimmed this because it showed up.
The state
on
of the
internet.
state of the video game industry regularly pisses me off. So
Yeah.
any additional thing I see, I try to skip.
I
So I'm
know
gonna-
very little about this. I just know that there was like a big blow up with Hideo Kojima and them.
Yeah.
And that's why PT isn't happening. And
Yeah. So, yeah,
Which
he's
that sucks because Andrew and I were playing the
PT,
anyway,
the-
that was fun.
playable teaser. So,
Except for the part where you couldn't actually figure out what to do.
yeah, we had to print it off. And did you remember his name's in it? Jareth
Yeah.
is the name we had to. So
It's one of the
Yeah.
most terrifying things I've ever heard is that my name is in that game.
yeah.
You were the first thing that came to mind.
So the reason I have video game in quotes for the developers because I don't know if you guys know this, Konami isn't really. That's not what they do. That's not their big thing.
They also do pachinko or whatever.
They do pachinko,
Did
but
they really?
Yeah.
Konami is the GE of Japan. They do like microwaves and like home appliances. That's really what
Sex
they're known
robots.
for. Video game development is like a very niche area, and they're actually going to do away with it, from what I hear.
Yeah, they're
Wow.
going to focus on their pachinko, which
Yeah,
makes them
pachinko
like several
quizzes, billions.
billions a year.
How? That's all.
Yeah. How? It's because we
I-
don't. Pachinkos are like the thing in Japan.
They're like our slot machines.
Yeah.
Also, with that, how?
Yeah. Okay, so I'm going to go over what they've done to their
Man, I had to
employees
like
who
scrape
worked
to
on
buy a sandwich. Like, what are people doing with their money?
I don't know. It's just because we don't have money, Brian. We don't know what
We
people
don't
actually do.
Yeah,
with,
that's true.
So, they've fired Hideo Kojima, who is the like godfather of like the Metal Gear Solid franchise and all that. So after this video game comes out, he's gone. And what they've done with the employees who still work there, if you worked on Metal Gear Solid and you were in Hideo's like group, you are now the janitors of their gym.
Holy shit!
Wow.
They demoted
That
them
is
to
bizarre.
lifeguards for the pool, and you clean out the locker rooms for the gym of the company.
So they effectively like made them fall on the mop.
Yeah. And since you were,
It's like samurai code.
from what I
Yeah,
understand
I
about
got
Japanese
it.
culture is you have to show honor and respect to your employers through the good times and the bad times. So they can't and this is just from what I gather, it's very disrespectful to quit your employment. So you have to,
That's
through the bad and the
really
good, you have
silly.
to stay with your employer. So they're sticking with this
These guys,
job.
these guys are high level video game programmers and developers
Yeah.
that went to universities to be able to do this, to be able to program these games that are very technologically advanced.
Yes.
And now they are scrubbing toilets.
Is that not just the shittiest
That
thing?
is
That's
fucked
awful.
up.
It makes me not want to get Metal Gear Solid 5.
Yep.
But at the same time, if
Oh,
I
I'm gonna
don't,
get
then
it.
I'm not. Then I'm.
I'm just saying.
Do you even have any investment in Metal Gear Solid?
I played Snake Eater when I was like 18, and it was fucking awesome.
You see, the thing is, Metal Gear
That's
Solid
all-
5 does look fantastic. You can tie balloons to goats and
I also
send them
played a
off.
little bit of that little half-Z teaser game thing that they gave me for free through the PlayStation Network.
Oh, something like Metal Gear Solid Ground Zeroes.
yeah.
Fun
played a
game.
little bit
It was
of that.
free. Hey,
Mhm.
but
You guys, I have a PlayStation now.
4.
Yeah.
What?
I have a
everyone should
PlayStation
know.
5.
What, Jareth?
I'm from the
He
future.
made it.
Big money, Brian. You went from Super Nintendo to a PlayStation.
Oh
4.
no, I
You
still
had a
have that.
PS3.
I did have a PS3.
Yeah.
It just happened to stop playing DVDs, Blu-rays, and video games
So you had a.
after several years.
So you have a brick.
Yes, effectively, like it can be used for a number of things. I prefer to throw it at neighbors. But
That's a good
yes.
one.
Do you
And
still,
the good thing is it has a cord to it, so you can pull it back after you throw
Right,
it. Sort of
right.
like Scorpion.
You've still got
Get over here.
You use it as a weapon. It's like playing Smash Brothers.
He's running out of
Your
neighbors.
Link, basically. in
So-
Smash Brothers.
With this game, you kind of want to support not the Konami, but you want to support the programmers and the developers who actually worked on the game. But at the same time, you don't want to give money to Konami because they're the shittiest company in the world right now.
Apparently.
I think about that and I'm like, because there are days when I'm like, I really should not be spending money, giving money to what I don't believe in. And then 2 seconds later, it's like, I'm thirsty and I'm in Walmart. So at that point, I realize, here's the problem. As consumers who are poor, we don't have a lot of choice.
No.
We're
Well-
going to be giving money to people who should not be getting money.
That maybe doesn't apply too much to this scenario since Video games are strictly a luxury
No,
item.
no, I'm kind of soapboxing about Walmart now that I'm thinking about it.
Yeah.
But no one needs
the
to
main
be buying a
premise
video game at all.
still remains the same.
Yeah.
So.
Probably none of us actually have discretionary income to where we should be buying video games.
Actually, I
No,
have plenty
no.
of discretionary income. I do pretty well.
He's a fucking pizza
Jarrett's,
delivery driver, and he always has more money than anyone I know.
That's because of his second job, which I'm not at liberty to discuss.
Drug running is a legitimate.
I'm going to say I was going to try and tie this into Narcos, but that's later.
I
on.
was going straight up Labyrinth with it, so I'm glad
Yeah, I
Dang.
drug run money to the goblins.
through the
to
Labyrinth.
the Goblin King.
Eventually, I am the goblin cocaine.
That's
king.
what's stuffed in David
Ah.
Bowie's pants. Now I
Cocaine
understand.
dick.
Yeah, cocaine cock,
Cocaine dick.
coke cock.
It's a common problem.
Speaking of video games, Big Hero 6 is going to be in Kingdom Hearts 3. So, for those of you, does anybody here play Kingdom Hearts?
I played Kingdom Hearts 1.
Yeah.
I don't know what that is.
So, it's Disney's video games. They mix Final Fantasy with Disney characters, and I've never played it, but it's like, I really want to because the game looks fantastic. All of them have looked fantastic. But
My
then-
second question is, okay, I realize that Big Hero 6 it's technically, this is what I've heard, it's technically a Marvel character.
Yeah.
I've heard that. So Big Hero 6, which is technically a Marvel character, had a movie. What is to differentiate Big Hero 6 from the Stay Puft Marshmallow Man or
he's a robot.
or the Michelin Man? Okay.
He's a
So
robot.
that's
pretty much it.
alright, he's a robot.
He's a robot with like an inflatable outer shell.
okay.
It's actually. Have you not seen the movie? It's
No.
It's actually,
Actually,
fairly
a really
delightful.
good
No,
movie.
everyone has told me that it is. and I
like
probably
surprisingly like I knew it was a Marvel character. I didn't know a thing about it going into it. Very, very fun movie. Tearjerker at the end, as with many Pixar films for some
should.
reason.
Yeah, that's a
For some
common
reason,
thread.
Pixar likes to make people cry.
I
They
like
feed
it.
on your sadness.
They drink your tears.
But yeah,
Just
from
like Konami.
I wish I could have more of a reaction to this.
I do too because I really want to play the Kingdom Heart games because they look fun and entertaining, but there's just so many other games that
Yeah.
pique my interest
It's like how I
before
felt
that.
about Nintendogs.
Dude, that should have been day one purchase right there.
You were gonna get Nintendogs, but then you just
Waiting
got
in
a
line.
real dog.
Yeah.
Uh,
That poop is real.
you don't get points for picking it up, though.
No. No, I don't.
You just don't get to go to jail.
all right, we are going to skip ahead to number 9. More video game news. All the dialogue recorded by Peter
That's
Dinklage.
number 10.
I know we got to skip so I can tie it in because I can't
Don't
tie
question
in.
his methods.
Yeah,
Until your mustache surpasses his, you are not allowed to question his
I
methods.
can't grow a mustache, only a beard.
Canadian.
Am I Canadian? I'm from
You
Oklahoma.
were there.
all the dialogue recorded by Peter Dinklage from the hit game Destiny has been fully removed, and they've actually got a new voice actor, Nolan
so
North,
why is this?
because
It
he
was
was pretty
crap.
bad. He was.
Did he just like not give a shit?
I don't know if it was that. It's just like his voice, like the way he gave the dialogue, didn't fit the character. If that makes sense.
It didn't. It fit a tremendously bored actor in a recording booth.
Yeah.
Who
This
wanted,
is-
who wanted a
who was being
paycheck.
under-
We
underpaid.
are on the moon.
Yeah, this is actually one of the lines, like verbatim, how he said it. That wizard came from the moon. You can actually hear him sighing, and he was a
Who
robot.
wrote that line?
Yeah.
Okay, I will say this: Destiny did a lot of stuff right, but it did an equal amount of stuff wrong.
Yeah. That would be probably the best way to say it.
Destiny was a giant sack tap of a game.
It was. There's so
I played a shit ton of Destiny.
so
Don't get
much
me wrong.
I did
potential. So much potential in that game.
It's Bungie, the people who made Halo. Well, granted, it's not the same people because they all went to 343, but still, Bungie, one of the most iconic Xbox, Microsoft
it was
first party.
it's this visually stunning game, and it evokes the same feel of like when you were young and watching Star Wars for the first time. Like it just captures this nostalgia and mystery, and then it actually you play it, and it's like a nothing game. It's just like a typical first person shooter, and then
Actually, it's even more empty than a traditional first person shooter.
and the writing is,
There was
it
writing?
just went in
There was a
circles.
story?
There was no story. It
So
was like,
perhaps Peter Dinklage had good cause to not give a fuck.
I think, yeah, like
Mhm.
probably. But it would certainly have helped if the actors at least were invested in the story they were.
Like, I would say it's very easy. Like, I don't think anybody would argue with me if I said that, like, any other first-person shooter worked harder on its story than Destiny did.
Yeah.
The reason they say they got Nolan North to do the voice is because they say that there was a scheduling conflict getting Peter Dinklage to record. That's their
Wow.
official story.
Wow.
I think,
That's so
but everyone's
flimsy.
pretty aware that that's not the case.
That's so
Yeah.
flimsy.
yeah. Because with Destiny, it's like, hey, did you like that mission? Good, because you got to play it 10,000 times in a row.
Yeah. You
And by that, I don't mean like the premise is the same, literally the same
exact
mission
same mission
over
Yes.
and over
Why?
again. Because there's, 5 different
It
quote
has-
unquote dungeons that you go on.
It has like,
There are more now. They've added one with each expansion.
What?
it probably has
So there's 8.
3 hours of
Basically.
content that it wants to stretch out across your entire gameplay experience.
Yeah. And then there's raids, which the raids are pretty fun.
But they're a weird combination of more traditional MMO raids
Yeah.
with first-person shooter mechanics, and it doesn't blend in very well.
Mm.
It's a lot of knowing. The only way you know this stuff is because you looked it up online.
Yeah.
It's like, oh, well, you got to shoot this thing at this time, but not when this.
Yeah,
thing's
I'm just
happening.
not a fan of anything that isn't intuitive at all.
Yeah.
You know,
Oh,
like
yeah.
you have to have some kind of an idea based on using your
There's
logic, not
There's a market for that in a video game, but you almost have to know from the outset that that's what you're getting into.
Yeah.
Exactly.
And it can't be a heat of the moment thing.
No.
like
you have to
can't-
know that you're playing a
You
game
can't
where-
be like maybe shot in the face if you don't randomly guess. You should look at your left foot, like tap it against the anthill you see, and then like yell "snowbird" into the air. Like you can't. That's ridiculous.
And what's worse is there's not even really an outlet for anything that you're doing there, because like in a more traditional MMO, you do raids, you get gear to do other raids or to go PvP with.
Nope.
This one, no, you just congrats, you got raid gear. There's only 2 raids,
Yeah.
and you're geared for those to start with.
And that's a lot of acronyms.
Or if you don't want the raid gear, you remember that gear you had at the beginning of the game? Just level it up.
Oh, yeah.
It's the same shit basically.
So
None of those-
Everybody looks the exact
So I guess in summation, if they keep this up, if they want to go back and just retroactively redo all of the shit that they did in this game, that'd be great. Starting with the re-recording the dialogue, and if they could just then rewrite the whole game,
Yeah.
that'd be great.
See,
if we could get the game we were promised,
Yeah, that'd be
except
cool.
for that right now, in order to do that and get access to all that, we'd have to pay the price of the game again.
Yeah, I don't want
okay, here's a question, because with Destiny, the game's been out for however long now. All of Peter Dinklage's lines, you're not going to hear those again, because you would have to start the game over to hear, because he's like mainly just in the beginning part, the story. Nobody plays the story anymore.
Well, he kind of chatters throughout on missions, I guess.
Sometimes annoyingly, yeah.
It's really weird that they
So
would.
so for fans of Destiny, we just spent the last 20 minutes taking a giant dump on it.
Yeah.
I'm sorry you like that game.
I'm sorry you're wrong.
The
Don't
Fuck.
play Destiny.
yeah, don't play.
Brian
Destiny.
hasn't even played it.
No, but don't do it.
I don't know how I'm going to do this. So, speaking of, what are the zombie things in Destiny?
The Hive, but they're not really zombies.
The Hive aren't zombies, but hey, speaking of zombies, thanks for bringing that up. Tomorrow night, Fear the Walking Dead will premiere on AMC 9/8 Central. I'm going to be watching it. You guys?
I'll wait until I have cause to do so or not do
Agree.
so.
Are
To
we
make
just
the decision?
the worst? We
Nah.
just aren't even.
I'll probably
We're not-
watch,
Yeah, I know. It's
We're
just
not
like,
participating at all.
I don't know. I'll wait.
I'll probably watch it once it's all out. I hate watching shows as they're happening. I get impatient.
Well, you guys think you're bitter now. Wait until we get to trailer talk.
Oh
and
my
there's
god! Yeah, this is gonna be so bad. I'm sorry. If anyone was going into this podcast as an optimist, you'll be the opposite. By the
It'll
end.
be ruined.
Flick Freak Podcast 49, the Negative Nancy podcast.
That's
Name
the
it
official
that.
name.
Yeah, so Fear the Walking Dead, for those of you who don't know, it's a story arc. It's in the Walking Dead world, but it takes place like during the time that Rick Grimes was in the coma, before season 1, really.
When he was in that exceptionally long, unaided coma.
Yeah. Somebody had to have been changing out those IV bags to keep him alive.
But we're assuming this is just a very short portion of the series takes place in that time frame, right?
From what they want to do, they want to tie in the story of Fear the Walking Dead with The Walking Dead, like have the characters meet each other.
So that will like eventually happen, and it'll be like the Marvel DC gangbang thing.
If Marvel and DC got together in the same universe, I just want that to happen. But yeah, I'm gonna watch it because with the whole Rick Grimes thing being in the coma, you don't get to see the massive epidemic begin. With this one, you get to see sort of like the beginning of World War Z. A lot of people didn't like that movie. I liked it a lot.
I hated it.
The movie was all
Just
right,
to continue
but it
the
wasn't-
trend.
I know it's totally different from the book, but I just at that point I'm like, okay, it's not even the same thing.
Don't go into it expecting the book.
No.
because you will be
No, don't do that.
tragically disappointed.
That's going to wrap it up for top 10 news. Let's move into trailer talk. Do you guys want to talk about the shitty ones first or the good ones first?
Do we have to talk in like trailer park accents?
You can.
What's a
Trailer talk. This here's trailer talk. You want to empty my septic tank, Durf?
Jerf.
septic. I can drink it, and fuck my daughter.
Yeah,
Trailer
my. Whoa.
Trailer park.
This is a trailer park in
And,
Canada.
And
Let's give
scene.
let's give a round for Jareth.
Cut, guys. Okay, Jareth, yeah, that was really good. I'd stick to the script next time.
Nah.
No.
All right,
You want Jareth?
You
Jareth
want
don't read no
incest.
script.
let's do.
I'm gonna dig myself a hole every.
Let's
single
go back and
episode.
forth. Let's talk good, bad, good, bad, good.
That sounds
So,
good.
First one, we're going to talk about Narcos, an original series by Netflix. Oh, one of the main actors is Pedro Pascal. For those of you who watch Game of Thrones, he played Oberyn Martell, the Viper. He was actually really good. I thought he was going to get an Emmy.
No, he
for that.
was like my favorite part of that season.
Yeah.
Yep, everyone's favorite part until his head exploded.
Dude, that was... You guys didn't watch the show.
Like,
I don't know if
I've-
you saw that part.
Like a great.
I-
That was actually kind of messed me up.
I
Yeah.
didn't like it.
Yeah. Because
I mean, I don't disagree with it. I mean, obviously that's what he dies, but I mean, visually it was displeasing.
it was very hard to watch.
Yeah.
But Narcos is a Netflix original series about the cocaine boom in in Colombia during the late 1970s, early 1940s, and how the DEA went from taking out hippies with pot to taking on the entire Colombian drug
That
cartel
sounds
series.
fucking awesome.
yeah,
about
Pretty
Pablo
cool
Escobar.
concept.
So I am, because Netflix original series, they don't do wrong. Besides that,
so far it's a pretty good
Hemlock
show.
Grove series, I didn't like
I
that.
didn't watch that because I heard there were like whatever werewolves or shit.
It wasn't.
something.
I didn't. Some people liked it. Majority didn't. But other than that, you got just ace after ace of amazing series.
Yep.
So, yeah, I'm gonna watch Narcos. It's gonna be great. Now let's talk about something bad. Let's talk about Victor Frankenstein, guys.
Oh, God. Why are we skipping?
I said we're doing good, bad, good, bad.
Oh, when? I didn't hear that.
I did say it, didn't I?
Yeah, you
Jared,
did.
Okay.
pay attention.
I
Okay.
zoned out for like a while.
Yeah,
So this is
you
like
must have gone into the wardrobe and slipped into Narnia.
so this will be my
Never-
song for probably this podcast is like, do we need this again?
Yeah, what's this for?
like
Who's this for?
we
I
already
don't-
have a lot of Frankenstein remakes and
None will be as good as Young Frankenstein.
well, of course not. And then yeah, this looks like the Pirates of the Caribbean treatment of Frankenstein,
Yeah, like half winking, but like not necessary.
which is such a weird take on
It looks like a buddy comedy action film.
but it's still trying to be dark from the trailer. I mean, it still looks like it's trying to be a little gross and dark with that.
Yeah,
And Mary Shelley is just rolling over in her grave right now. She's like, I won an award for the greatest horror book of all time. What are you doing to my work?
She's not dead either. She's living with Tupac.
Her new name is actually Mary Shakur.
Mary Shakur.
Yeah. They have since wed.
This stars James McAvoy and Harry Potter. So
Daniel Radcliffe.
no, it's just
He's Harry Potter.
You know, for the rest of his life, he's going to be Harry Potter.
It's like Starburns. My name is Alex.
Yeah, my name is Alex Osborne.
So yeah, Daniel Radcliffe, aka Harry Potter, and James McAvoy as a buddy. Yeah, they look like the Hardy Boys getting together. Hey, I got a raging clue. Let's make a. I don't. It just looks really bad. It looks
super like that's going to be one of those movies that debuts and then it's just nowhere.
What if this?
Seconds later.
What if this somehow turns into the greatest movie ever? I think
it
was Jared said it has an 85% chance of being awful and a 15% chance of being good. And then Mike said, "Wow, you are generous."
Yeah, seriously. Do they put like Las Vegas odds on this stuff on like box office numbers?
If they were, I'd be so
fucking
rich.
watch this.
I would be
God.
so rich if they did that.
There's no way anyone watches this.
Yeah. No, they'll watch it. It's
Like-
just going to be awful.
I know high school students, on the weekend are going to go see this movie, but
Do they? Don't they just like, get high and fuck each other now?
I don't.
It's like 2015.
Normally, yeah.
No, they don't fuck each other anymore. They're just playing Candy Crush
They don't have time to fuck each other.
Yeah. All right. So the next good movie we're going to be talking about is The Witch.
We are so fucking awful. Oh my god.
Let's get to The Witch, guys.
Okay.
This
Yeah,
movie looks
we're all
fucking
in on the
tastic.
Witch. We're all in on it. Get
That
ready
one-
for some positivity.
Jared?
Jesus.
That definitely does look like it'd be a pretty good terror movie.
Yeah.
I saw some stuff that might take it in a different direction, but it looked really good from the trailer, and I'm gonna go see it.
I like the time that it's set in, the settlers, like that pilgrim sort of.
Yeah, everyone's nervous anyway. It was a really unsettled looking trailer. There was something unique about how it physically looked and how,
Yeah, there is something about it. Seems to capture the exact feel of stories that are around that time about witches that almost make you think maybe there was something to it.
Yeah.
That underlying sense of dread. And just kind of the goosebumps and the creepiness, and it's just with the way it's shot and the way that the characters are, it's just weird.
Yeah. Only disappointing part about the trailer was when it was like 2016. I was like, damn it! Like I was ready to.
Oh,
see
you
that.
want to see it like
I
Halloween?
was ready to see that, like in the fall.
Oh god, yeah, that'd be great.
Yeah, I
That'd
was
be
ready for
awesome.
that.
Brian, like 5 or 6 years ago. Well, no, it was longer than that. You wrote a song called Salem 1692.
I totally did do that.
It's
Yeah.
a damn good song,
It was
actually.
a witchcraft song. It was pretty cool.
And I wanted that song to be playing during this trailer.
That song was now written 9 years ago. That was the.
I've known you for over 10 years.
Yeah, I
Mother
think
of
so.
God.
I think that's a true statement.
So, when these guys were like 13, 14,
16,
16,
15, 16, whatever.
Jesus.
9-10 years ago. I don't know. Math. Where?
Math. All right, so yeah, The Witch looks.
Them high schoolers ain't even fucking no more. Just to go back to like 4 minutes ago.
That's us.
Man,
Shit.
that's
Good
a good
callback.
Good callback. Damn it!
Yeah.
You beat me to it. So yeah, The Witch. This out of every single thing on this list, the thing I'm the most excited
Oh,
about.
totally. Yeah,
Yeah.
absolutely.
And you know me, Brian. I don't like horror.
No, you're not
films
into that.
because I
That's
do
not
get,
your jam.
because okay, this is a full disclosure, and you guys are going to either laugh at me or feel sorry for me. I have to sleep with the lights on. Like I don't sleep in the dark because I have this condition where.
I think, Jared, you do that too. Like you have a small light, right?
Keep a lamp on.
Yeah.
I have to sleep with the lights on because I have this condition where when I wake up, if I'm having a nightmare, I see things still when I'm awake. They're called night harpies or night shadows. Like I'll see something standing in the corner of my room.
Okay.
If it's
so-
dark,
Sounds awful.
if it's it's awful. If it's dark, like you'll see shadows like moving and stuff. So that's why I have to sleep with the lights on, so there are no shadows.
Is that like a night terror?
It's a form of night terror. Yeah.
Okay. Interesting.
I don't get them that often, but sleeping with the lights on helps it to where, because when I wake up, I'll see it, but I can't move. Like I'm paralyzed for a few seconds.
Yeah.
So
it's like a limited form of like sleep paralysis.
a little bit, yeah. And whenever I watch horror films, it makes it a lot worse. Obviously,
Because you're more likely to have
Yeah.
nightmares. And
exactly.
I'm just nyctophobic, so.
Yeah, scared of the dark. Yeah.
I'm
And I remember we were talking about the Vashta
Vashta
Narada from Doctor Who.
Yeah, fuck that.
Yeah,
Brian and I are really great. If you turn off all the lights, we'll go to bed and
just
sleep.
sleep.
very
I can't do
peacefully.
it.
Yeah.
that actually wakes me up more because then I'm in fight or flight mode.
Yeah, I start becoming hypersensitive. I'm like,
Yeah. So
I mean,
yeah,
I'm tired now. It's dark. I'm gonna go to sleep.
That's why I need to move like during the summer to Alaska, because when I visited Alaska, it was during the summer and it was the sun never went down.
I am the dead opposite. I would like to go to Alaska when I never see that bullshit. Like I do not like the sun whatsoever. I hate the daytime. If it were up to me, I would only be awake from 6 p.m. to 6 a.m. We would call it good. But I can't do that. I have a day job.
On Spoilercast, Jareth, you have a shit ton of t-shirts off of great stuff you said. I think we just have our very first t-shirt. The sun is bullshit.
It is bullshit.
I'd buy it. I'd wear it.
Also, can we get one about the high school?
No. Any
We
of your
can't do
weird
that.
mockery
We
of
can't.
pedophilia, that's
Mike's
never
fault,
going
too.
on.
That's not just
Yeah,
my
that
fault.
was me too.
Yeah,
That
where
was-
it's
I'm just glad I'm not the only one saying stupid, fucked up shit.
no
Oh, yeah.
one here is saying anything of any value.
Oh,
Don't get confused.
So we followed up the greatest trailer. Let's follow it up with now the worst trailer.
Fuck.
Scout's Guide to the Zombie Apocalypse. This looks like
Ugh.
one of the shittiest things ever.
Why is this getting made? How did this? How
Because
did
this is gonna make money.
It's going to make a shit ton
Will
of money.
someone? I want one of us. Jareth, I'm choosing you. I would like for you to recount what you believe the plot of this movie to be, and I would like for you to do it not cynically, like just very straight ahead. Describe the plot of this movie as best you can.
Okay, so I can't be cynical?
Nope.
Am I really loud?
No, it was underneath your mouth, so it wasn't picking up your voice.
No, I was trying to keep. Yeah, I feel like my levels are really low, so that's why I'm like worried about it.
Okay, I'll fix that.
I
You
feel
keep
like
talking.
Jareth's just stalling because he doesn't want to have to do this. I've put him in a very bad
God,
position.
okay, so basically, it's gonna be like super bad with zombies.
Oh, that gives it a lot of credit, though.
That
Wait,
sounds way better than what I saw the trailer bang.
Essentially, it's going to be your average high school stupid kid flick.
yeah, it's a stoner flick, but they're Boy Scouts.
I
guess.
think this movie like saw what Family Guy did whenever they make their like funny, like weird flashback things. They're like, what's cool now? Zombies. What's something funny to make fun of? Boy Scouts. Let's make a Boy Scout zombie movie.
And
Yeah.
throw in a liberal sprinkling of tits and jokes about tits. Boom.
Yeah.
just
You
made
have a
shitload of
blockbuster. Yeah.
Yeah, you have a movie of some kind.
Okay, so yeah.
No, none of us are going to see it.
Never gonna see this movie.
No.
So let's finish this off with a pretty cool trailer, what I think is anyway. Video game coming out next year from Remedy Entertainment, Quantum Break. We
I was
saw
really
the
excited about us talking about this.
because you don't think it's going to be good.
No, I just have complex thoughts on this issue.
Okay, so
Issue.
what Quantum Break is about a brother of a deceased man who invented time travel. Is it Monaghan? What's his first name? He played Mary in
Dominic Monaghan.
Dominic Monaghan. He played Mary in Lord of the Rings, and he also was in Lost. And then Sean Ashmore plays his brother, who is afflicted with this condition where he can control time.
I don't think afflicted is the right word.
Blessed,
that sounds
I
cool.
think would be the.
Yeah.
It's like I'm afflicted with the power of flight.
Yeah,
Oh,
I would have.
man.
I'll tell you right now, I'd have been on time to record this if I could do that.
Yeah.
You wouldn't have.
No, you
No, you'd still been late somehow.
But like 10 minutes. Not,
Yeah.
yeah.
ran into some seagulls.
Yeah. When I was controlling time in the South Pacific.
So the game, we got to see the game footage, but then after that, we saw that there's actually going to be a show that runs alongside the game. The game is about the heroes, and the show is from the perspective of the villains. Aidan Gillen, who plays Littlefinger in Game of Thrones, and then the one guy from The Wire, who was the chief, I thought was really great.
Not Omar.
Not Omar.
Omar be coming.
Or Idris Elba. But this game, I personally think this game looks fantastic. And Brian, you said you had stuff to say about it.
Yeah, so the idea, I think, of like a concurrent video game and TV show is interesting. That's the one. That's my first thing.
Okay. I'm still guarded as to what.
Yeah,
The second-
a butt is coming.
The second thing, mainly just is in regards to the trailer, which I think this is just me not as not really a gamer, like a really selective gamer. Like if you have to actually do anything, I'm not really into it.
That's every game ever
No,
where you have to
like
do stuff.
RPGs, I'm fine with that. Like if you don't have to fight anything, like where you're like, that was buttons. For those of you, who
You
don't
definitely
know.
do video games wrong.
Yeah, that's how I do it. It's like my
He
leg
just
is a
ham
bump button.
bones
Yeah,
and expects things to happen.
I think I'm.
Why is it not working?
I think I'm confusing video games with actual street fighting. Anyway, so the trailer was like 37 minutes long. A lot of gameplay there, and it looks like a shooter.
Yeah. It.
That's what I have.
So one of the first trailers I saw for this game at E3 at some point was
2 years ago,
was a story trailer. I don't remember Sean.
they recast everybody and
Okay.
redid the entire story.
Okay,
So
that
that's
explains
why
a
it's
lot.
taken so long.
I'm like, none of that seems to have come back. It looked a lot more like an adventure game where you're exploring the environment and picking things up.
Yeah,
et cetera.
totally different
That
cast,
sounds
totally
like
different
something I would
story.
do.
And so I guess I was, I just felt my heart drop whenever I saw it as a third person shooter, albeit an interesting third person shooter with some cool like time travel stuff, but like I don't think I'll play it. Just seems like I'm getting so fucking old. It's like this is like too much. Like I don't
you
know.
barely ever play video games anymore.
I know. I played Arkham Knight for like a couple of hours, and I was like, okay, that was good.
Great game. Good story, too.
It looked interesting to me. Third-person shooter elements look pretty third-person shootery. The time manipulation thing's been done before in a shooter, usually to really disastrous results. So maybe they'll do it right this time.
I'll say this much, and this is my opinion. I think the sooner we can get video games away from trying to be movies, the better. Because that again, like part of that trailer was watching something happen in the game. You're watching something unfold, and I don't know why you do that in a video game medium.
See, I have two thoughts on that. Like, I don't necessarily think it's a bad idea in terms of if you use it correctly, making a video game cinematic could be pretty cool.
Yeah.
But my other thing is, I think it takes the onus straight off the gameplay. Like a lot of people, like you can be lazy and still sell games, I guess is what I'll say.
But what about like all of Naughty Dog's games? Like if
Well,
you look
that's
at
what
The
I'm saying.
Last of
If
Us,
someone has the motivation to make something good, then it will be good. But a lot of lazier.
The Last of Us is a fantastic counterpoint to my argument because that's like one of my favorite games.
and it's a movie.
And
That's
a
No,
lot of
it's-
that is a
it's-
movie.
It's really cool. I
Yeah.
haven't even played
Yeah.
it, but I did watch a large portion of it be played,
It's-
and it was worth doing.
First 10 minutes are the most heartbreaking
oh
thing.
fuck, that's like
Cried my eyes out.
yeah, Jesus.
Well, it's
Yeah.
all about balance, finding the correct balance between
Yeah.
gameplay and visuals.
Yeah, I guess so.
Because I mean, if you do it right, you can have one without the other. Obviously, a movie is what happens if you just have no gameplay and
Which is-
only visuals.
Oddly, a proven medium.
But if you have a game that's like all gameplay and no story, you know what you get? You get
Huh.
Destiny.
oh,
That's what you get.
Oh shit.
Well,
Well, you have to have story.
Well, what I
but-
was meaning by that actually was not necessarily removing story, but focusing more on the gameplay as opposed to you actually get heavy rain, which is you are in control at all times. Everything's happening in a cinematic way, but you're doing stuff.
Yeah, yeah.
A lot of indie games are making that work right now.
So, there's definitely ways in both directions. What what you got to watch out for is because if you put too much focus on the just showing people things, and they're like,
Yeah.
well, why did I just shoot those 20 guys?
Yeah.
Why did
Yeah.
I bother coming here?
What was the point of my actions whenever this was triggered regardless? And
Right.
Yeah.
And the worst thing is whenever the guy in the video is cooler than you. He's like, oh, I'll just do a triple backflip here. You're like, what's the button?
So
for
you
triple
mean the
backflip?
worst thing is when you would play any video game that there is?
Pretty much.
There's never been a video game
Sitting
like,
on a couch.
I've never played a video game where the guy's like, I think I'm gonna. Honestly, I just got off work and I'm gonna order a pizza and get kind of drunk.
Well, I
a little
didn't
bit."
mean better than me.
Then
Better
later-
than the character you're playing. But yeah.
Hey, guys,
Yeah.
I want a video
'Cause they're
game
all
where
better than me.
Okay, I didn't understand your.
That's
statement.
a low bar.
Yeah, like, yeah, I'm gonna get some Pizza Hut and jack off a little bit.
I want to get a video game where I
Jack off. Hold on.
That
Jack off a little.
a little bit, and this is the animation.
you're not even into it. It's
This
just
is
like
no,
a release valve.
it's just you have to now.
It's a
Like,
release
that's-
valve.
It's part of it.
This is what you do when you get off of work.
Yeah, it's part of it.
I want a video game where you just get home from work, you eat Chef Boyardee, put on pajamas, and watch Princess Bride 3 times in a row.
I've done like that where I only watched The Princess Bride once.
Oh, you mean Wednesdays? Yeah.
yeah. That movie's awesome. I don't
So
care.
Wednesday the game.
Wednesday the game, yeah. To everybody who's still listening to this podcast, thank you.
That's always a disclaimer.
We're sorry.
Yeah. So we have a Patreon campaign where you can go to www.patreon.com/flickfreaks, and you can donate money to us if you like the content we give out, maybe $1 a month, something like that, because we're all going to make the channel better together. It helps to support the podcast, the YouTube channel, the Twitch feed, Facebook, YouTube, Twitter, all that good stuff.
Yeah. No.
Donate or I'll make worse jokes.
Nah.
Dun-dun-dun.
At least
Challenge accepted.
At least this time there was no pedophilia.
Yeah.
There
We got close
kinda
with the high
was.
school kind of stuff.
Yeah,
it
man.
got close.
I don't know. I turned 18 my senior year.
Are you guys ready for the Fairbairn forecast to find out what's playing in theaters right now?
I would
Yeah.
love that.
So we have 3 new major films in theaters right now. None of them apparently are good.
Okay.
So we have Hitman Agent 47.
Yeah.
Ugh.
We have American Ultra,
I'm
which
going to
Ugh.
watch that.
I thought it looked great,
I'm
but apparently
seriously going to watch that.
I am.
don't
I
care.
was really excited, but apparently it's very disappointing.
I'm totally sold on the idea of me liking it. Now I'll probably hate it.
Yeah,
I was completely out as soon as I saw the trailer.
really. I thought it.
I was
thought
the
it looked
opposite.
fun.
I thought it looked pretty cool.
I did too. But I was really disappointed when it turned out to not be good. The third and final one is Sinister 2, which I'm surprised they didn't wait till Halloween to release this film.
The first Sinister was good. I
Apparently,
liked
apparently
Yeah,
it was horrifying.
Yeah, there's
Yeah.
a lot of good imagery there. Well, and when I say good, I mean like pee your pants.
Yeah,
That's the
it
thing.
was a terrifying movie.
Yeah, it really was.
Are we ready for IMDb Idiots, gentlemen?
I'm
I
ready.
guess.
All right, so we're going to be playing IMDb Idiots. For those of you who do not know how this works, I am going to be listing off facts about a film, television, or a video game. The gentleman with me will have to take those facts and guess
Gentlemen.
which I am talking about. You only have one guess. If you get it wrong, you are out unless everybody else gets it wrong, and then you get to get back in. The first to 3 correct answers wins.
Who won last week?
You did.
Shut your fucking
Thanks.
face.
The
I should've just
first,
said me.
the first medium we are talking about is a TV show. I almost said film.
Okay.
For TV.
It's a TV show. It's created by Alan Ball. Alan is spelled A-L-A-N.
True Blood?
Yep.
Damn it.
God, son of an ass.
It was that or 6 Feet Under. I had a twosie.
Surprisingly, I really enjoyed True Blood. All right. The next medium we are talking about is a film. It is directed by Craig Gillespie. Gillespie.
Lars and the Real Girl?
Yes.
Like, I could have just said that because that's the first
That's
fucking
what I
movie.
did.
That's,
Yeah. That's what I did.
make these harder, Andrew.
Also, that movie was kind of decent.
I love that
it was,
movie.
actually. It was
Yeah.
really good.
I have no idea what it is.
I think
It's
you'd
Ryan
identify with
Gosling
it.
falls in love with one of those sex dolls. He thinks it's a real person.
Yeah.
Oh.
He has a mental disorder in the
Yeah.
movie. And in real life, probably.
His
do you
mental
know?
disorder is being too handsome.
Isn't that a physical disorder?
No.
Or is he handsome only in his own mind?
And yet
He
it
has to
projects
know-
upon us.
He has to know how handsome he is.
Yeah,
All right.
I think so.
I'm sure there's plenty of people who would love to show him.
So the
Mike.
next medium we're talking about is a film directed by Peter Weir, W-E-I-R.
It's a wait. What is it?
Film.
Is it the Truman Show?
Nope.
Damn it!
Oh, you're out of this round.
It's written by Patrick O'Brien based on the novel.
Also, I like the Truman Show.
It's very good.
Yeah, it actually is.
Stars the gentleman who played Pippin in Lord of the Rings, Billy Boyd.
Billy Boyd. Oh, I'm at a loss thus far.
Also stars Paul Bettany. The next one's going to give it away, so I'll give it a second. The main actor in the film is Russell Crowe.
Master and Commander.
Michael got it first.
Ah,
He started it first.
Start your sentence first.
All right.
Thank God we're fucking tied.
Hey, at least I got a guess.
Tied.
in
I
this
have
time.
2.
No, you don't.
Yeah, I do.
Yeah, my brain is too.
Yeah.
No, he doesn't. He can't.
What did I get? Let's rewind this.
No,
You got True Blood and you got Lars and the Real Girl.
Yeah, there we go.
this can't be allowed.
That's true. That's statistically.
Someday
that's
I'll
true.
get one.
No. Sit in your chair. Sit in your high chair. Like literally, it's a chair that's higher than ours.
The next one is a video game
Uh-oh.
directed by Yoshinori Kitase. I'll spell that. Let me know when you're ready for me to spell that.
Sure.
Yoshinori. Last name Kitase. Kitase.
No, show me more results.
Final Fantasy
Fantasy-
VII.
Nope.
Ah!
I'm glad I didn't finish my sentence.
Oh, is that what you're gonna do too? Is
Maybe.
that what you're gonna do? I played that game.
Written-
That game was awesome.
By Kazushige Nojima. Kazushige.
Final Fantasy VIII.
Yes.
Sheriff's on the board.
It's
Fitting.
actually my favorite Final Fantasy.
It's my second. Behind 7. This could be the last one if Brian gets it right.
He'll never get it.
He'll never get it.
I don't sound like that.
He'll never do it, Brian. You're like an '80s villain in Karate Child 9.
Karate Youth.
So this next medium is a film
Crap.
directed and co-written by Terry George.
Is that Terry with an I or something?
Terry.
Why am I not getting anything here? That's annoying. Oh, there we go. Hotel Rwanda.
Brian wins.
Should I just do that now? Just say whatever.
Yeah.
It's,
Hey, not all of them I did that. Alan Ball I got without looking at my phone.
I thought about doing the first shot.
I
on
just
Hotel
knew that he
Rwanda,
directed or he had created 2 shows.
Shit.
So I 50-50'd it in my head.
Because you knew I liked True Blood and that I
you
guess
might.
6 Feet Under was pretty
that was my reasoning though, because I thought 6 Feet Under was excellent.
do you know how we should do this
Isn't
now?
Michael C. Hall in there?
Mm-hmm. He is.
Do you know how we should do this now? Brian should be the one who comes with the questions next time.
Okay.
We
Brian.
can do that. We could rotate each week, is what we could do.
All right.
You know.
I want to do
Then
the
I'd have
thing
to
where
work.
whoever gets the most wins by the end of the year, they get like a trophy or something.
That'd be awesome.
Cool.
I would carry that proudly with my fantasy baseball trophies.
Yeah. You'd get the raptor claw up there.
There's a raptor claw?
Yeah, totes.
Fuck yeah.
Harvested from a real turkey.
Raptor.
It's a 6-foot turkey. All right. Thank you to everybody for listening to this episode 49 of the Flick Freak podcast. If you'd like to follow us, you can find us on Twitter, Twitch, Facebook, YouTube, Instagram, and Twitch. All of those at /Flick Freaks. Guys, why don't you plug away Spoilercast, the upcoming, it's not Diecast or is it Dungeon Cast? Or
It's
is it-
diecast.
Okay.
Yep.
Coming up in
Spoiler
2
cast.
weeks?
Yeah, I don't know. Well, we're recording it here soon. I know that there was something I should have plugged before, but I don't remember what it was.
Was it the Twisted Disney that's going to be?
Twisted Disney is going to be what we are putting up probably this week. And then I know Josh Jones has a Patreon that he's doing, or it's a GoFundMe. All that stuff is up on the Spoilercast website. You should definitely check that out. They also have Agents of Sur. As far as spell books, they have a game that just came out a while back called Dire.
Wait, is that out now?
I think
What
so.
the hell?
Really?
Fire!
Well, hey, we ran till 4:40.
That's true. I hope your boss doesn't listen to this podcast.
Not my fault.
Where are these pizzas gonna go? Like, I mean, without you there to deliver them to me in my
To
mouth.
hell. That's where they go when I'm not there.
I knew it.
I'm going to order a pizza, and it better be good.
And it better be good.
Not
I'm
mu-
not in charge of that.
So
Not much-
can all that stuff be found at like alltowermedia.com? Is that the main hub for everything?
Yeah, that's where everything is. Also, they have a very active Facebook group.
All right, alltowermedia.com.
I
Not like
believe
a
so.
.org or
Just type it in on
Dot
Google.
biz.
I don't
It's
even
dot
know.
so,
gov.
so Google All Tower Media, you're sure to find it.
Yeah.
All right, fantastic. Thank you to everybody for listening. We will catch you in episode 50. We're going to have a big celebration for episode 50 of the podcast.
I'm gonna get fucked up.
We will do some Twitch streams and more reaction videos. We'll catch you then. Until then, Godspeed.
Yo.